Morning, my dear students. I hope you all are fine and good at home. Today, my dear students, as we have already completed lesson 7, that is one word auxiliary languages. Okay, in that chapter, we have learned that how one particular language, one common language, is helpful in understanding each other. Okay, feeling, or we can share the there will not be a communication gap if we will have one common language between us. Just see that we have learned. I have given you some, what I can say, word meaning of this chapter, short question answer, long question answers also I have given to you. Some of the objectives we will do today also in today's class, and I'm going to explain you again the memories which was given, the quotation and the poem which we have done. Okay, and please learn the memory, please learn that, memorize a memory what it was given. You have to learn it very nicely because it will definitely going to come in the examination. So learn it. The poem also you have to learn it so that you can write it very nicely without any query. See, one word auxiliary language. One word help. One world language will help the people of the world to communicate with each other. If there will be one particular language, it will be easier that we can communicate with each other. We can share our thoughts with each other easily and comfortably. We should not need to spend time, energy, and resources to master diverse language. It is not possible to learn all kind of languages which are being used in different countries. There are 100 countries, and in all the countries, in all the states, they are having their mother tongue. They are having their own language. So it's not possible for a particular human being to learn all kind of such language. In that very case, there is very much requirement to have one common language. We must be at the liberty to talk to anyone we wish. There should be a liberty. There should not be a foundation between people. There should be no uh, there should be liberty, there should be freedom given to every person so that you and me can communicate with each other without having any barrier of language that will not let us to communicate, that will not let us to share our feelings or thoughts. So it's very important that we all should have the liberty, we all should have the independence to talk to each other. Having a common language would facilitate communication and enhance the bond of friendship across the globe. If we will have one common language between us, then it will felicitate, it will increase, it will enhance the beauty of the world, and it will help in sharing the bond of friendship between us, because we can understand our thoughts and share other feelings which we want to share with each other. So this I have just explained you what is the auxiliary means. What does this word, the one word auxiliary is important? Why should be one common language so that we can understand and share the thoughts and the feelings easily and freely. Now here is given memorize. Okay, what it is given, the heart is like a box and the language is the key. Our heart is just like a box, okay, which is packed, and the language is the key to open that box. We can open the box only by using the key. We can open this box by using the key and observe the gem it contains. And there are so many precious things inside our heart which we used to contain, and that can be opened with the help of the key, that is a language. Therefore the question of an auxiliary international tongue has the outermost importance. So there should be one common language, there should be one auxiliary language, helping language which can help you as well as me to communicate with each other by opening our heart. Because if there will be no common language, you cannot communicate with me or I cannot communicate with you. So we will not going to share our thoughts and feeling with each other. It's very important to have one common language so that we can understand and we can share the thoughts and the feelings of ours. In this also it is given, the heart is like a box. Okay, this is a poem. The language is like a key. Come on, children, open it and see the gem in within. You will find a cure for human. Okay, you will find some of the cure for the humans. Okay, sorrows for the human sorrows means that if we all will communicate with each other, if suppose we used to be in tension, if we are having some kind of stress, if we used to talk with our mother and father regarding this, mama, I'm having some stress on my mind that how I will give the exam and how I will pass the exam. So mama used to praise you, mama used to say some of the things to you, or your father used to say some things to you, so that that sorrow, that unhappiness will used to be converted into happiness. And then you used to understand that if we will be determined, if we will do our work nicely, if we will do the hard work, then we will automatically achieve anything. So without speaking, no one can understand your feelings. So it's very important that there should be one language which helps the people to communicate with each other. Mistrust. Okay, if we are not trusting each other, if there is a mistrust, means if you are thinking that I can cheat you, if you are thinking that I can harm you, this kind of is misunderstanding will if there will be misunderstanding or mistrust, then in that very case we are not going to speak to each other. So there should be trust between us, there should be understanding between us, then only we can understand each other's feeling. And people of the world will find a world language which you will learn. If there will be one common language, if suppose in the whole world, if there one common language, we all will decide that this is a common language, everyone should know this language, then it will be very easily to communicate with any people in any country, in any state, without having the barrier as a language. Okay, because if we will have the barrier like language is the barrier like, then in that very case what will happen, we will not going to share our feelings and thought with each other. We are not going to learn anything good or anything interesting from each other. So it's very important to have one common language which will let us to understand, which will let us to learn new things, which will let us to be a good human being, and which will let everyone to understand each other's feeling. See, then teach the world will become a better place, love, full of love, unity, brotherhood, and peace. When an international auxiliary language will be invented, war, strife, and hatred will be chase. Means if suppose one common language will be there, then we both, if we can understand our feelings and thought by expressing those things in words, then why we will fight, then why we will hate each other. The reason for hating anyone or the reason for disliking anyone is this, that we don't use to understand what the other wants to say, or what the others want to say, share, or what the other wants to communicate. So if we will have one auxiliary language, one common language that can help everyone to understand the feelings and the thoughts which we want to express, which we want to share, then these things will abolish, these things will be end. There will be no fight, there will be no hatred, only the love, peace, and harmony will be there in the whole world, which is very important. See what it is written. Quotation, it is written. Okay, the heart is like a box, language is the key to the box. Okay, we can open the heart, we can open the box of the other people's heart by using the key of language. Okay, once the box is open, we can see the gem that are in the box. Okay, therefore it is very important to find or to create an auxiliary world language that can enable all the people of the world to talk to each other. There are more than 1,000 different languages in the world which we used to speak, which we with which we used to communicate. Okay, in the world today, if two people do not speak the same language, they cannot understand each other. Okay, if we wish to speak to the people of the other country, or culture, we need to select one international language, one common language, one auxiliary language. We have to invent, okay, one auxiliary language. Auxiliary means supplementary, means the mother language which you are speaking. It is not like that when we will start speaking the auxiliary language we will stop speaking the mother tongue, or we will forget to speak the mother tongue, or we will not going to know about the mother tongue. It is not like that. It's just that auxiliary language just a supplementary language which will help you and me both to understand, to communicate with each other in more nice way. The auxiliary international language will not replace your mother tongue, but it can add it can be a aid to understand and to talk to each other. Means it is also a supplementary. It will help you. Like suppose if we are not knowing something, we used to learn it, and after learning that we used to observe that have learned something new, something interesting, okay, and something extra, okay. So it's very important to have one auxiliary language. It's very important to have one supplementary language which can help you and me both to understand each other's feeling, okay. So by learning any new language, or by learning any common language, we are not going to forget the mother tongue of ours. It's just that it will help the people of the world to communicate with each other in more nice way. See, some of the questions I have given related to the chapter, that is some objective type question, like one world auxiliary language, that chapter name you have to mention, the lesson number you have to mention, like question number one, state true or false. We should be at the liberty to talk to anyone we wish. Yes, it's true. There should be liberty between anyone, between us, or between anyone to anyone to talk to anyone they want. There were seven tourists belonging from the same country. There were five tourists, na, and they all were belonging from different countries. So this is false. In Russian language, grapes are called as vinaigrette. In Russian, the grapes are called as vinaigrette. Yes, it is true. The opposite of auxiliary is unassisting. Yes, it's true. The opposite. It's not the similar. The synonym for auxiliary is helping, but the antonym for this is unassisting. All the five men want the same thing. Yes, they all want the same thing, but because of the language gap, they have not understood. Next, some of the fill in the blanks also. We would not need to spend time, energy, and resources to the master the diverse language. It is not possible for a human being to learn 100 languages, because there are 100 countries or more than 100 countries in the world. So it's impossible to learn all the language of all the country. Okay, so we cannot be the master diverse of all language. Common language would facilitate communication and enhance the bond of friendship. Okay, enhance the bond of friendship across the whole world. If we will have one common language, the bond of friendship will become much stronger. There will be no hatred, there will be no strife, there will be no fight. The dash is like a box, our heart is like a box. Auxiliary means auxiliary means supplementary. Okay, there are dash tourists belonging to the five different countries. There were five tourists and they all belong to the five different countries. You all will note down all these questions and you will answer it in the copy very nicely in a very good and neat handwriting. That is all, my dear. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all have done this, and you will write all the questions, objective types in your copy. Learn the short question answer, long question answer, memorize that one, and the poem. That all you will learn, okay, so that you can write in the examination without any problem. And whatever question I'm discussing, whatever question I'm giving in the class, that you will learn nicely, so that there will be no problem. Okay, that is all for today. Thank you, everyone.